Welcome back to Afropop Entertainment News. In this video, I want to discuss the beef that seems to be growing between Burna Boy and Black Americans, which started on Friday, March 17th. During an interview, Burna Boy was asked why is it important that the diaspora come home, and it's Burna Boy's response that really angered Black Americans, and they have been very vocal about why they're angry at Burna Boy. And each time he posts anything or he informs people that he'll be releasing new music, African Americans post about what Burna Boy said and how it annoyed them and other related comments. So in this video, we will just comb into this entire issue and understand what's happening, why each party said what they said or feel how they feel. So in his response, Burna Boy said that let us use America as an example. And then he said, Black Americans, why do you think the Chinese America has their respect? He continued. And I think he was trying to compare the experience that Black Americans have compared to other ethnicities like Italians and the Chinese, and he was saying they have more respect. So he said, why do you think Chinese Americans have their respect and don't go through the things that African Americans go through? He questioned. The Chinese American has a base. He knows he's from China. Italian Americans know their grandparents come from Italy. They know the first person from their family to come to America to start that line. Same goes to everyone else except the African Americans. So this statement has really caused so much outrage, and I can say, and I understand to an extent, I understand, because the Black American experience is not an easy experience. Of all the demographics in America, Black Americans tend to go through so much trouble, especially with the police, systemic racism, the history of slavery. So I understand why this is not really an easy topic that anyone should just speak on aimlessly. So I'm a bit disappointed in Burna Boy for giving his opinion on this issue. I feel like he's new in the music industry, he's new in Hollywood. Yes, he's a big artist, he's a global artist, but he can't act like he has always been in America and he understands the American experience. He's an African. So if anything, I will say only African Americans or Black Americans should be giving such sentiments, because they will be speaking from experience, right? So to an extent, I understand what he said. But then again, I realized that most Black Americans interpreted this as Burna Boy saying they have no culture. And I don't know why they are saying that. I don't know where they are getting that from, because as you've seen in the message that has been read, he did not say that. And since that incident happened, they have been bringing up how Burna Boy is a hypocrite because he keeps collaborating or sampling some Black American songs. Like Last was a sample of Tamar Braxton's song, and it was such a hit. And so Black Americans have expressed their disappointment in Burna Boy because he's constantly berating Black Americans, yet he's using their culture. That's what they say. And interestingly, Burna Boy has sampled so many American artists within the past 2 years. Aside from, what's her name, Tamar Braxton, he also sampled Brandy. He recently sampled Brandy. And in the recent video, which caused so much uproar, it was revealed that he was going to be sampling Jeremiah. So many African Americans had a lot to say about this. They were not happy with Burna Boy, and they really expressed themselves in the comment section, and they seem to share the same perspective about this issue. And honestly, when you read the comments, you can see a lot of disappointment and anger in what Burna Boy said. But now the issue is the anger is about Burna Boy saying African Americans don't have culture. For example, someone said African American is now an aesthetic for everyone, so tired of the cosplaying. And then another person said, and you all say Black Americans don't have culture. And another person said, he's always rapping in African but using our culture to promote, like, go put on your garment and cane and go stomp in some dirt. So as an African, I was reading these comments and I was so disgusted, because I understand being annoyed at someone. And Burna Boy responded, he said, it's sad to see that in 2023, there are still such Black people who would prefer we stay divided and conquered. Maybe it's my accent or something, but I never said you are Africans and not Americans. So Burna Boy has tried to explain to his audience in America, why they may have misunderstood him, and it doesn't seem to have done anything. So they're still really angry, and I think now that's what's been irritating me, because clearly it's giving African Americans are committed to being misunderstanding. Someone said that Burna Boy did not insult people, he decided to interpret his message in a way that will fit your victim narrative. Well, that was a bit harsh. And someone else said, one thing I've learned about Americans, you will use every opportunity to drag Africans and then claim that we live in your head. Because one artist shares his opinion, you use that as an excuse to be prejudicial and honestly downright disgusting towards all Africans. So I agree with this person, because the comments were really not a good thing to look at. And then Burna Boy, I would like to read what he said again. He said, it's sad to see that in 2023, there are still such black people who would prefer we stay divided and conquered. And maybe it's my accent or something, but I never said you are African and not Americans. I also did not say Africa is part of heaven. You deserve all the land reparations you want from America, and I'm 100% in support of that. So my final take in this video is that African Americans were being so disgusting. Not all of them, of course. There were few I noticed who are trying to prevent their peers from saying certain things, but most of them were really being disgusting about this topic. They're just saying so many unnecessary things and taking what Burna Boy said out of context. And I understand sometimes someone can take something out of context. When you hear it the first time, maybe it can be so triggering, because I would not want an African American to start telling me, an African, about my experience. You go through this because of that, because you don't know, you don't understand the context, you don't understand the circumstances. So for that, I think Burna Boy was wrong on speaking about something that has nothing to do with him. But what he said is available for everyone to see. It's public information. And if someone reads that interview, Burna Boy did not say anyone lacks any culture. That's just what people have decided to interpret and run with and justify their disgusting behavior and words towards Africans. So I feel like African Americans have this anti-African attitude. They don't like being associated with Africa. It's like they have really eaten up the propaganda spread by the West about Africa being poor, dirty. So when I was reading the comments, I realized most of the Black Americans were calling Africans stinky, poor, those stereotypes, and it's way worse when it's coming from someone who's the same skin color as you, because most of us have grown up believing that racism is from people who are a different color from us, but sometimes it actually comes from people who are the same color as you. And I don't think Africans should be polite about this, or should take it, or should be, what do we call it, mature ones, the grown person in this. There are some things someone can say which are just outright rude, and they might try to justify it in any way possible. But in this case, it's just, in my opinion, it's clear that African Americans are basically looking for an excuse to be disgusting, and nobody should let them have that excuse to run along with it. If Burna Boy had just told them, you people lack culture or something, I would understand the anger, but that's not what he said. In fact, anyone reading that message can tell he was wrong being in business that is not his. I'll say that, but he did not have any bad intentions. And this entire drama, it's being approached as if this is such a bad person, he had such bad intentions, he has come to steal our culture. No, he has not come to steal your culture. He did not say you do not have culture. And when he samples music from Tony Braxton, Brandy, or Jeremiah, he actually pays them. So this is business. And the crazy thing is, I'm sure if this was a Chinese artist or Bad Bunny, I'm sure that African Americans will not be speaking everything they're speaking right now. They will not be saying you're coming to steal our culture. No, they will just be chill about it. So for me, this is all just anti-Africanicity from Black Americans. And most of the people who are partaking in that comment section talking about Africans being dirty, Africans being poor, should get passports and travel, because at this point, when people say things like that, I feel like they think they're insulting Africa, but it just exposes their ignorance, because by now it's 2023. Between 2020 and 2023, there's been so much awareness, so many people have become more aware, and more people know the truth about Africa. So if someone is still stuck in the dark age and insisting that the reality is what they were lied to about, it makes them look gullible and outdated. Like, inform yourself, keep up. The world is changing, people have a more realistic view of Africa. And if you can't travel, there's Google, there's Instagram. Follow a few Africans, you'll see how they live. So right now, no one has an excuse to be ignorant. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I love you guys. Bye.